Hey guys, King Azra here again. I got another video that I'm doing, or I was thinking about doing for a while, and I think I'm finally going to get around to it. I talked about it in my last lettering video. I want to do a hypothetical, just a little discussion, just general thoughts on every Gen 4 Evo if they were in Gen 3. So it's only Pokemon that, they basically just evolved, got an evolution during Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, until Silver. I thought this would be interesting because, I mean, there's a lot of hypotheticals you can go with AVD. AVD is my favorite generation. I love hypothetical scenarios, like thinking about, oh, what if this happened or that happened. So I was like, okay, let me do this. There are some other ones I want to do. I definitely want to talk about Choice Scarf, Choice Specs eventually, and I do want to maybe touch on Megas, but I think the Megas one's a pretty like solid answer. So no, but maybe hypotheticals on Mons joining OU from Ubers, or OU's moving to Ubers, or other stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but today I'm gonna be ambitious. I have some sets here. I'll go over the different. So we have right here Gen 1 Evos. We got the Evos that are split Evos right here. I got it for a second, and then I got Gen 2 and Gen 3 last. And how I want to rate this, I didn't necessarily put up a list, and there's no real good tier. I was trying to find a tier list thing I could do without having all of the, all the Pokemon there, or like all the ads and stuff, because I just wanted to be able to do that. But there's always going to be ads, and I don't necessarily want to put it up there that I got put in all these ads, because that might so what we're gonna do to kind of show my opinion, I'm gonna probably split things into different tiers here. So I'll make like a list of, I'll make a few of these. What I'm thinking is kind of to differentiate how good I think they are, because I'm thinking about a Mons that would not make OU, borderline Mons, like good, like fringe OU Mons, good OU Mons, and then I think would be meta change or maybe even Ubers, sort of. So I kind of want to tier this up to kind of really show my thoughts, especially at the end, if people are interested. So hopefully this will be enough to divide it. I might have to make more because some might overlap. But yeah, here's the list. I'm gonna go over the list of Mons. I got EVs for this. I didn't make the EVs for the rest. I got moves for all the sections when I'm focusing on each Mon. So we got Electivire, Magmorter, Rhyperior, Tangrowth, Rosalia, Leafeon, Glaceon, Dusknoir, Magnezone, Licky, Porygon Z, Togekiss, Ambipom, Yamega, Honchkrow, Mismagius, Gliscor, Weavile, Mamoswine, Galite, Probopass, Frostlass. So those are just the Mons I'm going to go over. I do want to lay some ground rules. I'm going to be only using moves that they have in Gen 3. With some exceptions where it makes sense, especially with the split Evos. Like I was thinking about this for Galade, where Curly does not learn fighting moves. Probably be unfair to say Galade only has HP fighting. I'm not going to give it a super good fighting move. I'll probably give it Brick Break as a fighting stab. So stuff like that, where at least give them something that makes sense. And for abilities, if they have two abilities, one from Gen 4 and one from earlier. So, for example, let me look at... Rhyperior has Lightning Rod and Solid Rock. I will be only counting Lightning Rod, because Solid Rock's an ability from Gen 4. But if they only have one ability, like Electivire, I will be using that particular ability. Leafeon, for example. So, that's how I will be doing it. I think that's the most fair. I think that impedes some Mons. So I will maybe, for some of the Mons, I might talk about, like, for example, I was using Rhydon an example. I might mention Solid Rock. I might talk if it would be better with Solid Rock or not. But yeah, let's get started. We'll start with Gen 1. I didn't put all EVs, but... So Electabuzz, I don't know much about UU and NU. I know about OU. So... an electric type that is weak to Dug has to do something interesting. Electabuzz in itself does not. I mean, it has Cross Chop, which really hurts T-Tar and really hurts Blissey. Excuse me. But other than that, not really. It's not seen. It's got a good speed tier. 105 is a nice speed tier. Special attack's nothing good. Its attack's not super great. So overall, not really going to see it. I mean, because Lantern could absorb electric moves. Same with Jolteon, and it's fast. Raikou has Calm Mind. Those are the three you see over Zapdos. Obviously, you see Magneton too, but I think I mentioned this in my electric video. Magneton is sort of a different animal. Yeah, it's an electric type that's also trap. So I kind of more consider in the trapping archetype, right? But if we move to Electivire right here, its speed's worse, which is not good. However, you could do this. I would say 270. And then you get some special attack right here. Something like this. Probably not adamant, maybe minus defense probably, because your defense is already bad. So right away, this would have a lot of attack. It would be a physical electric type. But you also could go, you could maybe go like this and go modest maybe, or minus this, and have that. Because I think the problem with Electivire inherently is that you're going to have Cross Chop, but then you have to have the rest of your move pool be special. I know this is Gen 4. I know that, let me see, like these are all going to be special, right? So you have to have a special inclined moveset, and 95 special attack is not horrendous. It's not great either. You could also potentially have like a physical set, maybe like Cross Chop, Thunderbolt, Thunderbolt, maybe like Earthquake. Let me just make sure that Electabuzz. I haven't double checked this. I didn't know Earthquake. You can learn Hidden Power Rock or Hidden Power Ground, maybe. So yeah, like the physical move pool for Electabuzz. As I said, I'm focusing on the move pools. It's sparse, right? So Electivire has good stats, but not necessarily a good move pool. But its ability, I think I have a can on the floor that I must have missed. Let me pick that up really quick. Can I pick that up? No, I'll leave it alone for right now. Sorry, that's I think I left a can on the floor, and it's like under my desk, and I don't want to reach down to go grab it. So, Motor Drive, I think, is what makes this interesting. Because, as I was saying before, Electabuzz, other than Cross Chop, it doesn't necessarily have a definable niche that make it good in Gen 3 OU. Motor Drive means it can switch into Electric. It doesn't heal like Jolteon, but it would gain Pulse on. Now, I want to say with Motor Drive, I would probably work on the same mechanic as Volt Absorb in this hypothetical. Oh, that reminds me of another thing I could say that I should have said. I'm focusing on these mons individually. Adding 20 plus new mons and thinking, oh, well, how are they going to interact with each other? That's a little too much. So I'm focusing on these individually. So I just want to make that out there. I'm not focusing on if all these mons exist at the same time. I'd like to, but I feel like that takes a little more research and a little more thought. So I'm focusing on these individual mons. Like, what if Electivire exists? It was an Evo in Gen 3, etc. Sorry, I just forgot to say that. So I thought it was important to mention that. So with Motor Drive, though, it can switch to Electric, and the reason I was saying 270, at least, you can go 264, but the idea would be you absorb Motor Drive. Now you're +1 speed. Now you're faster than Doug, so you're no longer Doug weak necessarily, as long as you have some move to hit it with for good damage. You're no longer Doug weak, and you're faster than Arrow and Jolteon. Obviously, you can't have Earthquake. I was looking at these, but you can't have those because Electabuzz does not have those. So maybe you do something like, I think this would be the moveset. This is my thinking. A special attacker. This should be Thunderbolt. You could go Ice Punch as well. And maybe, let me see if it learns Thunder Wave. Ice Punch. You could do this, Ice, and then have Grass extra. So you have a lot of options. I think overall, with Motor Drive, I'm going to have to say, I feel like at least Fringe OU, right? because this is a mon. I feel like it would be less consistent. It would be great as like a breaker against like, especially with HP Grass. I think HP. This is why I'm thinking HP Grass Ice Punch, because it can cover. Most electrics have to pick coverage. This doesn't, so it beats Flygon and Pert, but it doesn't have the best special attack. And has a decently strong and has a cross shot for Blissey. So I feel like at least for Ou, I don't know if I would say this would be because no, I think it would get to OU, right? Like it would be used. But I think the move pool holds it back. I think if it had a better move pool, it would be up. And if it didn't lose speed, if it had 105, because with 105, there's so many more things you outspeed because your bulk, your defense, and your HP. Your special defense is fine. Physical bulk. If a Salamence hits you with like an earthquake, you come in, you're dead. So now I'm gonna say Fringe OU. So we're moving to Magmorter. So this is the set I came for Magmar. I was thinking. I mean, Magmar already not the best speed tier, not great. It's got a good mix pool, but we got Magmorter, who loses some speed, 83 speed as, but 125 special attack. That's as strong as Moltres. Flame Body is also interesting because you could switch into like a Metagross Meteor Mash. You don't take it very well. That's the problem. But the idea of switching into like a contact move, even Gengar likes Fire Punch, Ice Punch. Maybe you switch into an Ice Punch and burn Gengar. So there's some things you can do here that I think immediately makes it very interesting. It's got attack, and I was already looking at the special move pool, right? You could maybe drop Psychic here. You can't have the problem. You can't have HP Ice. You gotta have HP Grass, HP. If you had like a, so maybe you go like, you could have Cross Drop. You could have Cross Drop. So you could kind of the same idea with Electos, but you have less attack. You'd be more focused as a special attacker, but you'd have the ability to hit physical checks. And also, you'd have to pick between Grass and Ice, which is nasty. Thunder Punch at least gives you something, right? Thunder Punch gives you something. Yeah. Thunder Punch, Flamethrower, HP Grass. Right, this gives you something, right? But you also have to split between movesets. And then you get into the thing, this moveset right here, Blaziken can do. Now, you have less special attack than Blaziken. Blaziken has more physical attack, I believe. Let me just double check before I, say stuff that's wrong. Let me look at Blaziken. Because I think Blaziken becomes your competition, right? 120 attack. So it has more attack, less special attack. I think in this situation, though, the 15 less special attack is preferred than the 25 less attack without stab and fighting moves. So I think that this, right, you're outclassed by Moltres because Moltres is a flyer and has better speed. You're outclassed by Charizard because Charizard is beat up and Focus Punch things. And you're outclassed potentially by Blaziken. So there's Canerupt, who's has a good niches. Certainly this thing's not falling to UU. It's too strong for UU, right? I would think. But definitely not. I don't think it's going to get OU. It would probably just be BL. I think if this would be BL, it probably would be seen. But being weak to sand, being weak to like it not having necessarily the breaking ability you really want. And the special attack and the speed, if you want that, Moltres can do that. It doesn't have the same cover, but it does have Willow and Roar, which might be better given the situation. So I think it's a BL. It would probably see use, but I don't know how much use. I was looking at the time, so I'm going to try to speed these up. Because I do want to try to get through this in no more than 2 hours, right? Rhydon. I love Rhydon. Very cool mon. Abilities use. Oh, it has Rockhead. So that's actually give me a thought. So Rockhead. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I forgot about that. Amazing attack. You can go with some speed investment because maybe you want to outspeed Skarmory. Bulk. Take a physical hit better, but you don't take. So you can get sub range. You can go 404. Like this. So there's a lot, and this goes in Sword Stance, right? Am I? Yeah, it does. So This was the set I sort of thought of for Rhyperior really quick. This needs actually more health, doesn't it? Yeah, it needs 404 at least. Could have more, but maybe have more in this. So, I forgot I can learn Swords Dance. So, it would not have Solid Rock. Because as I said, I'm not giving it new abilities. So it would have Lightning Rod, and it would have the one that stops recoil moves. Rockhead. Rockhead. So it'd have Rockhead. So I didn't give it necessarily any recoil moves. Obviously, it has this insane move pool here, but a lot of this is moves it gains through the Gen 4 split. So I was thinking right here for, is this an example? Extremely powerful. You could have a Choice Band set. Choice Band would be devastating. Maybe a little hard to use because you don't necessarily have a lot of switching opportunities. Weak spikes. But it'd be the hardest Choice Band that isn't Slacking or Metatron. Which is, that's scary. That's really powerful. Stab Rock, really strong. Stab Earthquake, really strong. So, Choice Band, really good. Swords Dance. Swords Dance in here. Obviously, whenever Rock, but could have Swords Dance and just be nuclear at that point because you're. Oh, but then Marowak comes in. Like Marowak, the comparison between Marowak and Rapier, I would say that Marowak would still be probably better for that, but this would have recovery or maybe a Lumberry, so you could actually set up easier without agility passing necessarily. Probably like Sub Swords Dance, Rockside Earthquake, or there might be some other keys. Then you get Wall by Celebi or something. So, excuse me, but I think the problem would be its typing. Very powerful, but it's weak to. It would beat a lot of mons. Choice. How much do I want to actually check? How much? Let me grab a calc from DPP. Let me switch my screen. How much does Rhyperior, let's say Choice Band, do to Swampert blank? So let me just check the Swampert EVs currently. I think it's 252 HP, 248, and then 252. Can we just magnify? Actually, how freaking insane Rhyperior Choice. Actually, oh my god. That actually, oh my god. Choice Band with right predictions. Yikes. Swampert comes in on an Earthquake and their spikes down. That's a very bad situation. I didn't even realize how strong, because most things don't have stab on something that really can hurt Swampert. Most things are resisted or weak, like HP Flying, Choice Band Salamances. So yeah, this would be a very scary Choice Banner. Swords Dance would be really strong. The problem is, and this would probably get Agility Pass stuff. Oh my god. This is, Rhyperior would actually be, I was thinking this type, and it wouldn't have Solid Rocks, would take so much. But it would be literally a potentially point-and-click mon if you get the right reads. You have to have a flyer, you have to have a levitator because Earthquake. And if you get it wrong and they rock slide, you lose your flyer. Now it switches out. Now it start Earthquaking. So definitely closer here. I feel like this would be solid OU. I don't want to say it would be broken. It could be. I'm maybe not thinking stuff. It would certainly be one of the best mons, but it would be weak to mons. You would probably see more mons that, Rhyperior would probably be on pretty big breaker teams, maybe Agility Pass teams, where it would, but then you can have Choice Bands, you're weaker, then maybe Swords Dance, Agility Swords Dance, same stuff like that. So I don't know. This would be really good though. I think it could be broken. UU minus. Let me just put that there. So Tangela. Tangela has good defense. Cool for a grass type because I guess special defense is terrible. So this thing is not that good, but I got Sleep Powder during HP Fire Toxic. I don't think it's a bad moveset. And if we move to Tangrowth, you would have Chlorophyll like that. So immediately, I mean, you can maybe see this on Sun. It's got 110 special attack. So it actually hits pretty hard. At that point, maybe you can see like Solar Beam and stuff. But, 100 tech. What's Tangle's physical move pool? Let me just see. So you're basically hidden powers in like normal, or Sludge Bomb, I guess, but still. Oh, it has Swords Dance. Huh. Interesting. So maybe, I don't think it learns Earthquake, right? So that's kind of the big. Yeah, you don't learn Earthquake. I think you learn Earthquake is learned by some Venusaur. That's what I was thinking of. So attack. Physical bulk that's actually really strong. But you're still weak to flying, you're still weak to poison, you're still weak to a lot of things, and your special defense is god awful. So you're a grass type that's supposed to be a tank, but on the one side, it's not good. Now, I think one of the reasons it's good in other gens is a regenerator. This isn't a regenerator. So it can't just come in willy-nilly, but I can see here that it's got good special tech. And on the physical side, I mean, what's grass? Let me go look at grass weaknesses. Oh, I did not switch back. Oh no, I've not been showing you guys. I'll bring this back here. Sorry, I didn't. I just realized I didn't do that. So here, just So let me go. No, not Tangle RS. That's not what I'm looking for. What was I looking for? There was something I was thinking of. Oh, grass type. Let's look at the grass type weaknesses really quick. I don't remember every. I mean, I remember a decent amount, but let me just look at the weakness really quick. It's not better because ground, grass, electric. So your only great resistance is ground, but there's flyers for that. I guess you're not immediately weak to rock. You threaten now. Is there maybe a hidden power ice? It's got good physical bulk, but I think this might be seen sort of fringe. Maybe on like some Sun teams. Maybe with. I'm gonna say maybe like some defensive teams really like this because the bulk, like the 125 defense, is very monstrous. Maybe you would go. You could be like a mix wall. But even look at that. You're not actually taking things super well. But you also can get 404s. You can get subs maybe. So can this learn Leech Seed? It can. Okay, so maybe like 404 HP subs, it could do that against Blissey. So there's definitely be some use. But I don't feel confident saying OU. Because flying, ice, those are things that are flying around all the time. And no, so I think between these two, probably is the worst one so far. Maybe I'm underestimating grass type, but without good grass stab, without certain stuff, so no. Magneton, already really, really good mon. I just put some examples right there. Some says use magnet, HP grass, etc. Magnezone, 130 special attack. Makes it the strongest electric in the tier. And it traps. So I think right away, this changes the game a great deal. You do still need plus. I think you still need plus special defense, but you're also bulkier too. So Magneton is just screwed, or not Magneton. Skarmory is just screwed. Right. So let me just go check this. Magnezone. I'm just gonna bring up Magnez. Versus Skarmory. With 252, oh, it actually still survives. Oh, that's without modest. So you still want to be modest, but with modest, you still don't kill. That's I think they're the same set. So damn, we never should have shown this. But what about HP ground? How much does HP ground do? with 252 attack. Oh, that's special. I need HP ground to be physical. So you actually don't die to HP ground, I don't believe. I don't think so. Skarmory would have to be like choice banned, but at that point, you gotta click HP ground first and hope Magnezone or Magneton comes. So immediately, super scary. Special attack is insane. Swampert can't switch in unless it's like max speed plus nature, earthquake, right? It's slower, but bulkier, has insane special attack. I feel like in this case, I want to say it'd be broken because if not, like if it wouldn't be banned, it'd be like one of the best ones. Because let me go look at Metagross calc. So they're like, I don't know what the normal set is, but Thunderbolt without any bulk investment. What about HP Fire? That's not with Magnet necessarily considered. So like this is Metagross. So I guess it's not too much higher special attack, and you lose defense, but only 128 bulk. You still take, almost 60% from Thunderbolt. So I feel like if this got dropped right now, like if for whatever reason they're like, oh, we found a game file, right? I'm talking about this because I think one of the things I'm talking about the meta now, not necessarily the meta in the past, because then the meta would have evolved around that, and there would have been some changes, right? But I mean, Magneton's already really good. Magnezone might be too much. I feel like it's got power, and it completely one of the things about Magneton, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like it's definitely at least here. I might come back to this. I think it's better than Rhyperior. That's even tough too, because I feel like it completely invalidates. There's nothing Skarmory can do. The only thing Skarmory can do is click Roar, and if Magneton's on the team, roar it out and then one. Like maybe your spikes up, then they have a spinner and they get rid of it. And Magneton's brutally strong. It's the strongest electric in the tier. It's not the fastest, but it is the strongest. So, I don't know. That's really strong. Alright, let me see the time I'm at. Ooh, we still have a lot to go through. Alright. I'm trying to go fast right now. Licky Licky. Cool moveset. Terrible stats, right? It's not that good. Evolves. Stats are still horrible. It's got good bulk, but and good special attack, I guess. And a good attack, but I think inherently this, I don't think there's much to say about this. Maybe you're gonna like see it occasionally because it has a really nice move pool of stuff that you can just click. There's also mons that can learn the same thing, and they're not necessarily super good. Stats are important. Being a pure normal type, I don't think. Does Lickitung have any sort of recovery? Curse Heal Bell. Oh wait, as knockoff? Huh. With knockoff, because it could have knockoff and Heal Bell. That's not something can learn. No, let's see if we learn Thunder Wave. I was gonna say, because that's not bad actually. Can I learn Wish in its base? Hold on, can I learn Wish? See, I was thinking about this maybe like offensive threat, but maybe that's the problem. Oh. So maybe you get something like this. And then protect. See, you're gonna move from, but I mean, Heal Bell plus knockoff. That's kind of nasty. I mean, this bulk is not great, but it's a normal type and it's got good health and its defenses aren't bad. So it can actually take a hit. Normal doesn't have a lot of weakness, but it doesn't have a lot of resist either. I was gonna say, this is definitely UU. Like, is too weak. But I feel like there's a niche here. So maybe everything is just better than I thought. So there's no mon that has knockoff plus Heal Bell plus recovery. I believe. But you're kind of moose. I think you have too little, so I'm putting UU for now, but might be up here. I don't know, because that's such a good combo. Because the thing with knockoff, right? The knockoff mons do not have somewhat reliable recovery. Wish Protect is reliable recovery. You can even have Sub Wish, like the sub and then Wish. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. That's it's gonna be interesting. All right, I'll have to think about that one. That one I'll have to come back to because I was underestimating, but knockoff plus Heal Bell plus Wish plus Protect. I don't think it's too terrible. The problem is that, I mean, actually, you're not using. I was gonna say because taunt, but you could just knock off. Like if Gengar taunts you, knock it off. Like and you're in sand. Like that's not bad. Like you're not doing a lot of damage back. This it might be too passive. You need a lot of other things that wouldn't be passive around it. But hey, yeah. All right. So as I was saying, I give it Brick Break, but I want to bring up Curlia for. I'm gonna bring up Gen Curlia, right? So its special attack is 65. It is not actually. Let me bring up Gem 3 Curlia to talk about this. Or I'll bring up Curlia because it evolves from Curlia. So let's bring up Curlia. So Curlia does not have like a physical move pool to speak of. I mean, it has Shadow Ball. So I'm just starting to organize a set right here. Maybe like Shadow Ball right here. Other moves. Destiny Bond, not bad. Facade. Taunt. Okay. Oh, it has Willow already. It could have Taunt. Does Curly have Knockoff? Does not. Okay, so it cannot learn that. It's Memento. Potentially have Wish. Something maybe like Wish or Willow. Willow's not actually too bad. But see, here's the problem with this inherently. It has a lot of support moves, but it can't necessarily do a lot itself. I think that hurts it in this, right? Because it does not have good special attack. You would need a lot of special attack to be hitting hard. Its attack's really good. Its speed tier is really good for a fighter. I think it'll be tied for the fastest OU fighter because it's definitely not like a UU, right? To do like something like this, maybe a more supportive set, like a supportive fighter. That's not too common. Willow, Taunt, Brick Break, because this is super threat. Actually, Willow, Taunt, Brick Break is super threatening to Blissey. Like Blissey can't do anything to this guy. Like it taunts it can't heal, and then Brick Breaks, or Brick Breaks before. So I mean, in that way, and T-Tar is very threatened. And Willows for other threats. Oh no. I definitely think this will be interesting, right? But I can't put in Fringe OU, I think. I think it's this might be, I think it's going to be in between these two. I think Magmorter would see a little more use. Willow's a really good tool, though. But I have to remember that it has the curly moveset. So I think Gallite's basically, its big problem is that it was given a lot of moves because it's evolution. And now that I'm not giving it those, it does not have the same move pool. So it's sort of slotted into a support role, and its defense, it has good special defense. So maybe you could have, like, right? But still not great. Still not great. And you can't, if you could outspeed defensive Gengar that Willows, then this would have an niche, I think, because then you could taunt before it Willows you. And then it can't physically stop you. So yeah, I'm gonna put it here. I think if it had a better move pool, it obviously would be better, but doesn't necessarily have that for this thought experiment. Okay, Leafeon. I think once again, does it learn Leaf Blade? It does. Okay. I feel like this thing would have Leaf Blade, but if we're not gonna give Leaf Blade and it has like Giga Drain. I mean, already look at this thing's special attack. So either way, those moves aren't going to help with that much. Its defense is really good, but defense on a grass type, And its attack's really good, but like, what's it gonna do for attacking before? Like, and this it could have like Shadow Ball, Body Slam, Baton Pass. It does learn Swords Dance. So the thing with especially these four is I have to be a little more careful because like, let me go look at Eevee. Does Eevee learn Swords Dance? See, it doesn't. So do I say that because Eevee doesn't learn? Because so I don't know. But even with if that's Swords Dance, then maybe you'll be seen as Baton Pass Mon. But then Celebi base does that better. Does have knockoff once again. So I think that generally speaking, I don't think this would make you. I mean, maybe it's BL because if it has Swords Dance Pass, that's really cool. But what is it? It's not gonna tank an Ice move. Excuse me, I was bringing my head down for a second. I'm tired. Jeez. I feel like this thing would be worse than Licky Licky. Like, it doesn't have a good physical move pool, and it's special. It would be trying to be relying on special attacks. So, I don't know. I don't have much confidence in this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone's going to say, well, that's really good. And maybe it's not. It's too strong for OU. I don't know. I'm not a... Sorry, not OU. UU. Maybe it's too strong for UU, but I don't know. But I definitely don't think it's... If Licky Licky is UU, then I think Leafeon will be UU. Because I feel like Licky Licky has more to give. Alright, Glaceon. I mean, 130 special attack. Oh, boy. 65 speed is actually not even that bad either. 110 defense for an ice types, whatever. Snow Cloak. This is a problem because this might get banned. I might have to make technicalities here because you know there's gonna be some people there like that they're gonna put hail, but hail doesn't last forever. There's no bomb snow, so I don't think it would get. It doesn't get banned. It's not banned in. I don't think Snow Cloak is banned in Gen 3 OU or Gen 4 OU. Let me just go see. Let me look at Gen 4 bans. I'm looking if it bans. It only bans Sandville. I had an arena trap there. So if that's the case, Snow Cloak probably wouldn't be banned. But I'm looking at this. We got Ice Beam right here. You could have Hidden Power Grass. But that's kind of where your move pool sort of ends. If we give it Heal Bell, then that's really nice. I'm willing to give it Roar. Toxic Wish. Because all of them had a Wish. Let me like Toxic Wish or Wish Protect. Potentially something like this. Wish Protect. Ice Beam, Hidden Power Grass. Let me just see how much Glaceon would do to Swampert. Offensive. Let's get Ice Beam. So that was that's wrong set. Let me just do the actual. Let me do the set they use. So that's 216, 240, and they give one plus defense vest, right? 44, right? So Ice Beam does about 40%. Tyranitar, no investment, does 40 to 50%. Some T-Tars are going to... So this is potentially with the max... This is without boosting, right, to Modest. So it actually have flexibility on Natures, I think. 229 will obviously be really good, but 251 to outspeed 240s. Like Celebi. Celebi could... 244 would no longer be a great benchmark because plus speed Glaceon will be super threatening. But it is an ice type with nothing for Blissey. Its speed tier's not bad, but great. And Snow Cloak's basically a worthless ability. So I feel like it better than Tangrowth and probably better than Gallade, and I'm going to say it's better than Magmorter because honestly, the strongest ice type besides Glaceon's Regigigas, which is 100 special attack, 130 special attack is always going to be scary. Always going to be scary. So, excuse me, I'm yawning a lot. So I feel like this would have a place because of that. We've gone through 9 mons, and we are 40 minutes in. Oh my god. We have a lot to go through still, but I think some of these mons will be easier than others. But this one, okay. This was one of the ones that I was really thinking about, right? Because, okay, so spikes, it can have like ice beam, because that's something it already learns. It cannot learn explosion when involved. Okay. Let me look at Glalie really quick. Oh, it can still have taunt. And let me see what Glalie... Let me just make sure Glalie Gen 3 can learn some of the stuff I'm going to propose. Won't have explosion here, but, you know, maybe, like a screen move. I guess the third slot, I don't really have an idea, but 110 speed. So this actually can tie, Gengar. This is if you really want to fast him, but I think realistically, you only need to be like 310, something like that, and then maybe some special attack investment, and then defense. This is a spiker that can block spin. That's sort of where I'm thinking about this, right? Because that's really good. Can I learn Crunch? It does learn Crunch. See special, so I'm thinking right here immediately. This could face off with Starmie, and it faces off with Claydol. Probably would have special defense investment then. To something like maybe like this. I don't know, but it was some sort of special defense investment. Jesus Christ. To face off. So immediately, I think this changes the complexion of the tier of spiking, taunting. It's got really good speed, so you can even use it offensively, like an offensive spiker, like spikes, ice beam, hidden power, grass, or something, crunch, something, whatever you want to do it. So special attacks not that great. The rest of the stats aren't that great, but the speed, spiking, its ability's terrible because once again, Snow Cloak's probably not going to be used that often. Maybe some people will try to abuse it because the idea of this being stopped would be amazing. But this does struggle. Pursuit Tar would be scary. I mean, you could take one hit, I think. So Pursuit Tar is scary. Skarmory you're good against, but you could get status. But that's where you get the taunt first. But then they can maybe drill you, weaken you. You don't have recovery. But you have good matchups. So I feel like this might be one of the broken ones, too. I definitely think right above right here. Because I think this counters a lot of what you're going to see, right? Like, this will be really, really, really good. Its typing's not great, but the ability to stall break. Like, Blissey. What is Blissey, normal Blissey sets do to this? It gets taunted. It can't, if it has Thunderbolt, yeah, I guess. But it can't time talk as Ghost. So, that's a free Spikes. It'd be free Ice Beam. Maybe a free Crunch. Crunch would be special as well. I'm saying Crunch because I don't think you can get Thunderbolts. I don't know if Glalie can learn electric moves. Oh yeah, excuse me, no electric moves. I don't know. I'm gonna say Solo you. It might be broken tier. So the thing with Magneton is I think that where Rhyperior would kind of, I think, fit in the metagame is like the strongest mob, but have weaknesses. Maybe there would be some past stuff that make it a little too much. I think Frostless and Magneton definitely edge towards broken because if they dropped in the tier today, the big complexion. I will say Frostless is the spiker that's still weak to fire. So you probably see a lot more fires like Charizard. And you might see more like non-Canerupt, like maybe Blaziken. That's one I can think of. Blaziken would be kind of scary for it. Entei, things like that, because it actually would do okay damage because it's stab, ice beam, and fires are neutral. So I think this last slot, I'd say Crunch. Maybe like a support move if you don't really care about Starmie, but I think you want to be able to beat Starmie. So I think Crunch. But yeah. Thoughts there. Alright. We're finally to Gen 2. Let's go! Alright, so we got Porygon 2. Has Trace. Obviously, it just dropped from OU to BL. Tells you a lot. Porygon Z. I think it's an interesting thing. One hand, its special attack is insane. Same as Alakazam. Which is brutal. Yeah, you could have something like this as an example. As a very, I've run Porygon 2 with this set. Porygon Z would be even more potentially brutal there. Forge, you can't learn Nasty Plot, or it would probably be over the top. You can learn Thunder. Tri-Tech would be normal. So there's some other moves that that it has later that we're not going to use. Think about it. But what do we do about its ability? I think it's where we come in and say it would have Trace. Oh no, well no, it wouldn't, right? If we're saying it's adaptability would be garbage, right? I should be fair on this. I was saying it because with Trace would be insane, but it gets change adaptability here. It doesn't have. So if it's adaptability, it wouldn't be download. The adaptability is what the ability turns into. I mean, it has a good normal, like maybe. What I was gonna say is maybe a conversion. The conversion. I was thinking about playing with this with Porygon 2. Not that I think it would be good, but conversion, the idea would be you convert yourself into stab type and hit ludicrously hard. This would give you it would give you the strongest Ice Beam, it would give you the strongest HP Grass, and give you the strongest Thunderbolt tier. Based on what you get to flip to. Always get wall by Blissey though. But with adaptability, you double that. That would be pretty insane. Maybe you potentially go conversion a physical set. Because your idea is that I'm have HP fighting right here, which is a set that already exists in Porygon 2 sometimes for T-Tar. With adaptability, I mean it's so it would have a different role, but I mean I'm not going to say adaptability would be the thing, but I already think this would be Fringe OU, but this would be a funny set. This would be a funny set, and agility exists too. It has agility Porygon 2. I've thought about agility Porygon 2. Problem is you gotta drop cover. I feel like, or you gotta drop HP Grass. So you're not gonna really do that. So overall, I think it would be probably worse than Electivire because you can't really use adaptability. I can't really use normal stab without being physical, and that really hurts it in this particular gen. I think it'd be better than these though. It's got a niche. All right. I got Togetic right here. Serene Grace. Super scary. We have no Air Slash, fortunately. But you could have a Body Slam. I think it is normally. I think this has Body... Yeah, I have Body Slam. Flamethrower, which protects. So it would work in many ways like defensive Jirachi. But it's got better special defense, better special attack, worse attack. So Body Slam is maybe you don't go Body Slam. You're like a Flamethrower... Maybe like yeah, so you wouldn't have as Encore, that'd be really cool. What's the speed tier by the way? 80. So not a bad speed tier either. So I mean special attack's also insane because you could maybe do like flamethrower, HP Grass or HP Ice. Probably HP Grass. So in merit compared to defensive Jirachi, it wouldn't be as good, I feel like, because the resistance. Steel's a really good type, resist a lot of things, but you wouldn't be weak to Earthquake. So maybe I think this would probably see use because of that. Serene Grace, Flamethrower would be really scary. I think this is once again a Fringe OU mon. I feel pretty confident in that. I think his move pool, the special split really helps it, especially when he gets air slash, because then they can flinch. Super devastating on that. So I think this is like a fringe OU pick. You might see it defensively. Wish Protect would be really nasty. Heal Bell. Because you know what? You're weak to Toxic. That would hurt over Jirachi as well. Because then you don't necessarily stall. You need like another Heal Bell, or you need to have Heal Bell. And I guess you could because you drop Body Slam for Heal Bell. So maybe. Yanma. Plus its little heart. It's got Speed Boost and Compound Eyes. So I'm going to look at this. First off, Speed Boost. Does learn Baton Pass? That's illegal. Let me just see if its base learns Baton Pass. Okay, that hurts it. Alright. Well, its special attack. It's great. Speed Boost. They don't have Compound, so it'd be Speed Boost. So maybe you could invest all the way in attack and like bulk and have like protect. But your moveset is like Giga Drain, HP Fire, Hypnosis, maybe Protect. I get maybe this or something. I don't know. Like the moveset's bad, Hypnosis bad accuracy. Speed Boost is a really cool ability, but it does not necessarily have the ability to take advantage of it. And when it's used, Tinted Lens is what makes it really insane, at least in Gen 4. Right? I love, I've played Gen 4 OU, and I actually really like Yanmega Tinted Lens. So I was really thinking about Tinted Lens resisted, but no Bug Buzz. So that really hurts it. I think Yanma, I think this might have too much special attack, but it has no stab. Let me go look through the Gen 3 UU past gens. Oh, can I ladder on those today? Oh, I'm showing this. No, see, they don't let you ladder. They have the team things open so you can look. But like, let me look at this. I mean, we got 105 attack here, but it's split. I don't know. We got some decent shiny things. So this is not a weak tier. I didn't want to talk about it as it is, but sure. So maybe this can be handled with Speed Boost, man. It's got really good special attack though, but doesn't have the move set. So I don't know. I feel like it's better than Leafeon, right? Because that's really scary. It'd be faster and everything. Maybe this could be seen for because it would outspeed +1s. Because I know like Endure, like Slack reversal strategies exist. This not only resists that, but it can protect to get the boost it needs to be outspeeding many of those mons. So think about it that way. It would be too much for that. So maybe it would be, I don't know. I feel like that's the only thing you use it for. Like that's like a really good reversal counter. I guess this also walls and beats. Oh, you know what? In OU, this beats. No, it doesn't because well, if it's not behind a sub, it beats +1 speed like Heracross with the Slackberry boost, right? Because it protects and then HP fires. So, like if you break the sub, maybe like you break the sub, it doesn't have sub up. There's no sand. I mean, the situation here is you can have sand anyway, but let's say maybe not. Then yeah, Mega's actually a really good answer to that because it protects, speed boost, outspeeds, HP fires. Got Hypnosis, and I have Giga Drain here. So I don't know. Sorry, I moved back from my mic, but I'm just thinking about all that together. There's a lot. God, there's a lot to think about here. So no. I'm gonna look back. Obviously, I'm gonna look back at these, but I feel like those are actually some niche uses. That potentially does Speed Boost lets it outspeed Jolteon and our man Aerodactyl, but it doesn't have a way to really harm them. Like, it doesn't necessarily do anything into them. So, yeah. That's unfortunate. It got a good special attack, though. So, it at least could sting something, but unfortunately it doesn't have necessarily the power. Okay. Murkrow. It's got a good... I was even looking at this earlier. I was like, wow, this is really good. Except that you can't really pursue Tar. We need, like, something insane like this to try. But this is a really cool set, I think. Just right here, top of my head. But we gotta really look at Honchkrow, right? Honchkrow does not have good speed. Does not have good bulk. So I was thinking about this as pursuiting. But Pursuit would perhaps run into the situation where you can't really do it effectively because you're too slow. Right, the main thing is, does it trap Gengar? Not really, because Gengar just Thunderbolts. It does good damage, and if it doesn't switch, you're up shit creek. You click Shadow Ball, but what if it's Willowgar and it willows you, and now you don't kill it? Then it gets try to switch. I mean, then you pursued it. So and he doesn't have a lot of the moves that make it really good later. It's Brave Bird, etc. But I mean, Drill Peck, Shadow Ball, Taunt, Hit Power Fighting, right? Not bad. Not bad at all. Hit Power Fighting for Tar. It's got really good attack. 71 is an interesting speed tier. Let me just look. You're 240 without investment. You're 264 with investment. So you're faster than Breloom, potentially. You could be max attack. This would be the strongest drill in the tier. We don't have a lot of flying stab. That's, we like Salamence has stronger attack but doesn't have drill. So it'd be relative to that, I believe. So Taunt's a cool move. And currently this is UBL of an actual, but does a better move. I think this, I feel like this also would hit that. And drill's really scary. Taunt would be scary. It probably would kind of, it would sort of work like Arcanine a little bit. Oh, and Insomnia, it can't be slept. So actually, this is the fucking best, one of the best Breloom counters in the fucking universe because it can switch into sleep and threaten with drill. So, of course, they can start focus punching, and then your defense is what? 52. So, yeah, not really actually the best, but you could try. I think it'd be better than Tangrowth. It would be stronger or something, but I don't know. I definitely want to look at this tiering wise again. There's a lot in here that I'm like sitting here like, ooh, maybe I should do that. All right, Misdreavus. You kind of see this every once in a while. I ran into this a few times on ladder a few days ago as the spin blocker on the team. Make sure my camera's on the right thing. Yeah, it is. And that's obviously very interesting. It's got decent special defense. You know, Magneton can take a pursuit. It's not weak to Psychic. Miss Magius has better special defense, good special attack, and good speed. So, as a special defensive, not getting trapped by pursuit, this would be better than Gengar. It's not weak to Psychic, so it potentially is a better matchup against Starmie. And it has Levitate. So I think this gives Gengar immense competition. I don't know if it's better than Gengar. I'm not going to say it is. I mean, in actual Gen 4, Miss Magi's UU, and Gengar's OU, because special type was. But I'm thinking about, like, how important Pursuits. There's not so much part. Pursuit is super important to trapping a lot of these mons. It doesn't have Willow, though. I don't believe. It doesn't have Willow in this gen. It does have Willow in... Does it have Willow in Gen 3. Let me just check. Let me just make sure. It does not. So that hurts. Got Toxic. And also, this could also be an offensive, like Thunderbolt. Should be Grass. But then Psychic. Then you need a physical Ghost move, which is Yikes. So I feel like, though, this would exist. I mean, not being weak to Psychic from Pheromones is nice. And it wouldn't be as easy to Pursuit Trap. It still has Levitate. So I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know if it would say better or even uproot the tier. But I feel like this is definitely a solid OU. I definitely think it's worse than these three because Gengar someone outclasses it. But I feel like this would exist as a second spin blocker. Maybe for those who don't want Willow, maybe they're like, I really want to secure my special defense. Because this is not weak to Psychic, so maybe. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It'd be a worse Gengar in many ways. But the higher special defense would be really appreciated in some situations, I feel like. Just top of my head. It might be Fringe because it's still outclassed by Gengar. Yeah, I'm going to put it down one. But at the top of Fringe, though, because I think it would genuinely have a good niche, but it would probably just not be used that often because it wouldn't be like if you are spin blocking, you have to choose. I think with the solid OUs and Broken, there's nothing that can do its role quite like it, and the role is actually really effective. Mismatches would have to compete with Gengar, which is not easy feat. So, but it's Fringe might be solid. I think it's a little more. Here, my arms burnt. I feel some. I went out today. It's like 90 degrees outside where I live. It is super hot today. Let me look at the time. God, we are an hour in. This is a long video, but we got 7 more mons. Gligar. Okay, Hypercutter. Super nice. You don't lower your attack. This is like this is kind of like I don't think it learns agility, right? So it doesn't. That's unfortunate. But I was looking at this like a like basically pseudo set. Instead of being weak to electric, it's immune. It's not super fast, but Swords Dance be really strong. Earthquake, hidden power flying. 95 attack is pretty high. 125 defense. Like a ground flying defense wise, that's really nice. You're not. I think you're weak. You're neutral to rock, for example, which sucks because Flygon's kind of the competition there. Not having your attack lowered is really nice. As a sweeper, Swords Dance would be good there. Sorry, I just smashed something. Stats really good. It's OU, but does Gligar have Taunt? Doesn't have Taunt this gen, so that hurts it. Doesn't have Recovery. I'm just thinking where I want to put this. I think it's better than all the UUs. Better than Tangrowth, better than Honchkrow, better than Gallade. Magmorter and Glaceon, I'm not super sure. But a sweeper that doesn't get its attack lowered is potentially really monstrous. That's... Yeah, I'm going to say it's at least Fringe. Probably like... right here. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this because I guess you could actually run... Now I think about it, you could run Salic, Swords Dance. Oh, yeah, you know what? Salic, Swords Dance, like sub, Earthquake. I feel like you should be flying at that point, but then you get covered by... You want Rock Slide. The coverage, because Rock Slide Mega Horn's such great coverage. You don't have that. So, yeah, I think this is about Fringe OU. It'd be good. I just don't know if it would be the best. We got Sneasel, who is normally a UU pick, I believe. Yeah, UU. So I definitely don't think it'd be UU with these changes. It would definitely be better because 120, 125 special attack, or 25 speed. But it can't use its stab. It does have knockoff. It'd be the fastest knockoff user in the tier. It is faster than Doug. But let me see. Does it actually... The strongest move it could use... Sneeze learn double edge. Let's see. Let me go actually calc this. So, Weavile... Because 125 is the interesting speed tier. Let me move my camera. This is Doug. This is Earthquake. Oh, this is Trolley. So it survives, and then does it kill back with double edge? That's without investment. Oh yeah, so this with plus speed. So this is if you're doing like Swords Dance. So this actually doesn't lose to Doug. So I was thinking before Swords Dance, Shadow Ball, Brick Break. If you copy that set exactly, you're still really walled against everything. But this speed tier plus its attack. This is the fastest Swords Dance user. Would be the fast Swords Dance tier. It'd be extremely fair. But I feel like this definitely at least gets fringe, right? Like it's strong. It's not easy to trap. You have options for what it is. Like 383 speed is you're only slower than Arrow and Jolteon. Now being slower than Arrow is very bad. For a frail offensive mon. If you really want to be like Jolteon is used for that because it's a frail offensive mon that is tying. And a lot of frail offensive mons like Alakazam, which are UUBLs, basically run into the issue where they are not the fastest thing on the field and they're not powerful enough. This is powerful enough and fast enough, but it is going to lose certain things. So I think it doesn't have stab either. So I feel like this is going to be fringe. Because I was looking at it if it could beat, if you double it. Maybe you'd run different moves because you don't necessarily die. So maybe you run, Hidden Power Rock. Especially if this thing comes in on you when you're already boosted. So I feel like this would be fringe. I feel better in Gliscor and Electivire. I think it. The main problem would be it wouldn't have stab, right? That would be its big issue. But there are mons that don't use stab. And then, I'm saying, I'm going to drop this for Hidden Power Rock right here. And they're still really good. So, Pressure's not a bad ability either. You're not going to really use it for Stolen, though. So, I think we're getting right here. So, we have a full team of Fringe OU right here. So, we might start moving things up, or we might have to make a bigger Fringe OU tier. So, maybe many things are just... Maybe I just don't balance as much as I think I do for this tier. Maybe. Who knows? All right. We got 5 more. I'm going to try to get through these. Piloswine. Look at this set right here. 100 attack. Very nice. You don't really see this, obviously. Oblivious. Be infatuated. Kind of whatever. But 130 attack. Brutal Earthquakes. Brutal. And the speed tier, 80. It's really good. Moveset wise, especially it's only 70. So you're going to maybe see Ice Beams. Because maybe you... How much... Oh, I'm still on the other screen. I did not... I forgot again. Well, let me just stay here for a second. I'll bring back to the list. But what I was going to check was Mamoswine blank versus Salamence blank. How much does Ice Beam do? No investment. Just straight up. Wow, no investment. Even if you're minus special attack? Let me just see. So this is Salamence with no investment. This is not even 120 or 136 here because this is 120 normally, right? No, this is the 136. and this is the 120. So 120 mens. Without sand, we can add sand, and that's a chip. And maybe you just put a little special attack in there, and it's getting bulldozed by this ice beam. So that's pretty scary. As like it doesn't like rock. How much does a rock slide do? Speak of the devil. My voice getting a little scratchy. Sorry, I need to get some water when I finish. This is 252. Rock slide. I mean, with the damage boost, so ice beam does more. So I think you'd see ice beam, rock slide, earthquake. I think the third move is where it gets maybe a little more. You wouldn't have. Ooh, does it have? I don't think this has knockoff in its base. That's why it has double edge. Maybe rest. That's where you get a little more thought into it. Roar, sub, toxic. Toxic, maybe. Toxic would make sense. It is not running ban because you're probably running leftovers right here. Yeah, this is I love Mammoth, by the way. Mammoth is a fucking cool mon. Excuse my language, but God, this thing is awesome. I feel like this is definitely like it's not as OP as some of these guys right here, right? But it's not gonna lose to Ments usually. I mean, even special attack, like right? Ments. Let me just check. 252. Fire blast. Actually, it does kill back. Ooh. Right. So you can't actually beat. You do potentially lose 2 special sets. Photos are not going to come in willy nilly. And you scout that. So I think it'd still be used, right? Because it's 130 attack with a strong ice. Well, I mean, stab ice beam hits Flygon. Because normally, right, a lot of these physical attackers are walled by Flygons and Salamances potentially, but ice beam is not walled. So maybe it would be worth. Maybe it's worse. I feel like this is if I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add in between. In between fringe OU to solid OU. So I'm gonna put this as an in between, just because I think we have a few mons that I feel like I'm a little. I think Mammoson I'm a little shaky on. I compare like I don't think it's as good as these other. Oh, but I don't have the right one. So I'm gonna put this as Gen 4. And I'll put this. Something like this. I don't know. These are definitely, and I can Miss Maddie's here because it's definitely better. I don't know. And I might have to slot. I think Magneton probably would get banned. Like if Magneton actually, Frost Lesson Rapier might get banned. But I think Magneton would get banned. Honestly, I think it's the best scene. Ambipom would not have necessarily some of those moves it would like, but I mean, it'd have the fastest taunt in this tier. 115 is really nice. And we come to another thing. In this tier right here, it has pickup and runaway. Runaway becomes technician. So if it has technician, I don't think there's necessarily really good normal moves it could take advantage of. Yeah, there's no. Is there any 60 power normal moves? Not really. Body slam would be almost as strong. You don't necessarily have the same stab moves. Hidden power is 70 powers. You can't boost that. Quick attack gets boosted. Just really thinking of something I missed here. Dig's normally 60 in that tier, so it would be 80. Beat up gets boosted. Oh, that's beat up? Ooh. That's interesting. Beat up's cool. Does Impalm base have low kick? It's not. I was gonna say low kick would be really nice because it's actually stronger against Blissey than Brick Break. Because it's 60 on Blissey and then times 1.5. was thinking. I think this would kind of be relegated to support, but I was thinking about like it's faster. Such Attack's not that good. So what is it gonna do? It could knock off still. Shadow Ball would be physical. So we're gonna have Shadow Ball, which is nice. Aerial Ace maybe. Or maybe like Shadow Ball, Brick Break, Body Slam, or Double Edge, or whatever you want there. And Taunt. I think that would be a particularly pretty devious set. But I think this is probably like BL. Probably like, put it right here, I think. I think kind of like, it's better than Gallade, Honchkrow, Tangrowth probably, but Technician's not going to be used that much, even if it has it. I don't feel absolutely confident that, because like, a 361 taunt is really, 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 really good. 115 speed, really good. Let me see how much. Versus Starmie. That's not even. Oh my gosh, you don't know. You don't do shit. So, taking that into consideration, I gotta drop it then because the thing I was thinking was being a good Starmie answer because it taunts. And I guess it does okay against like defensive Starmies. But special. Yeah, I'm gonna drop this. Maybe like right here. I think this might. I don't think it's UU. It might. You know what? Actually, its speed's here super good though. 115 seems like it's a little bit much for you, right? Because 100 is pretty good. Like, an 100 attack with 115 speed when you could just not max. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I have 110. 110 right here, but it's 95, and you don't stab. I know the best normal mod is Kangaskhan. So hold on, let me compare it to Kangaskhan really quick. Alright, Kangaskhan, 95 attack, 90 speed, 105. So they have less bulk, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it up here for now. And that kind of makes me think right here, a little more bulk and near the same attack stats. Does Kangaskhan have like Heal Bell? It doesn't. So I feel like that kind of tells me that this would potentially be. I'm gonna make. We're gonna do. Between UU and BL. I say this is probably like the situation like some mons are. Oop, I just went to the wrong thing. Video. There we go. So I feel like this kind of slots in between. And I'm gonna drop this up there. I guess move up. I'm gonna put Amipom. I think I'm putting UU. I think it's a little too fast. I think this is maybe gonna go right here. Leafeon, I feel pretty solid. UU. I mean, it's UU in this, but doesn't have grass. So I feel like this would be solid UU, or maybe even. I don't think it's dropped NU, right? Like NU seems a little crazy. Yanmega might be too much too, but the last three, Gen 3. We are over an hour in, so we're gonna hopefully get this done. We talked about this with Frostlass before. Spikes is really powerful. Obviously, there's no Stealth Rocks. There's no Toxic Spikes. Sorry, my throat is really scratchy. Let me quickly grab something. Give me a second. Yeah, not from my chair. Excuse me. Okay. That's much better. So, Spikes is really nice. A new Spiker with 125 special attack and 90 speed. This is now the fastest Spiker in the tier. I think this automatically has some really wild application. 306 speed ties Moltres, which is nice, but more aptly. Um, it's outspeeding 299s. So it gets spikes on some Zapdos, some Salamence, some Flygons, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of mons. It just spikes. It's got good special attack. And I think like Rosalia, it is now. So it's a spiker that cannot be statused. Or it could be poison point. But unfortunately, does not want to sleep powder. So this kind of set I was thinking of. Rosalia, I've heard people were testing Rosalia. I think a few people have been doing that. So I mean, this is like better than 105 special defenses. Whew. Defense is not great. Still not taking a physical hit to save its life, but and you can be offensive. You could be like Giga Drain, HP Ice Spikes, Sunspore. It's just the move pool is a little limiting, right? The move pool is a little limiting offensively. Maybe you could see this on like weatherless teams, like with Synthesis. Synthesis only is HPP though, but you know, aromatherapy, Hidden Power Ice or Hidden Power Fire. I would say Hidden Power Fire, so you actually beat Fortress. Yeah, I think Roserade would change the tier so much. This would be, oh, I don't know if it would be better than Frostlass for the tier. I feel like, well, what do I think is more important, the speed or the ability to spin block and spikes? I feel like being able to spin block and spikes would be better for the tier, but this is definitely like, these two are interchangeable. I think Frostlass versus Roserade would be the debate for the second best spiker, and the other one would be third. Because I think Skarmory would still be first. I think Skarmory defensively would bring a lot of integrity. But, I mean, Frostlass beats it with Taunt, and Roserade not so much. So, I think if given that, if you're going to Spiker Battle, then both can carry Hidden Power Fire. Though, if Frostlass carries Hidden Power Fire, it can no longer then beat Starmie for Rapid Spin. So there's actually some dynamics there. So overall, I think Roserade and Frost will be interchangeable. As like the second best spiker in the tier. Frostlass might be the best spiker, honestly, though. I'm gonna say Frostlass would be a little higher because it actually could beat Skarmory. So then it would potentially put Skarmory out of business because it would just taunt Skarmory and then spike on its face. There's nothing Skarmory could do about it. Unless we start seeing HP Go Skarmory, which, I mean, says a lot. But yeah, I think looking at Magnezone really quick. I just want to come back to this. I think Magnezone, especially Magneton's already really strong. I think Magnezone might be that step too far because then at that point Skarmory is just dead. So I want to say this is definitely the best mon that you. It might be banned. Rhyperior is really strong too, though. Oh my god, Rhyperior and Magnezone would just be like complete menaces. Frostlass and Roserade would be really tough to deal with. Magzone right here got really good counters, but like what they do is insane. So I don't know. Dusclops. See this occasionally on more stall teams for a spin blocker, which is fine. Very bulky, but doesn't have good health, longevity. Then we get this bad boy, which fixes not a lot of problems. I mean, it's like the technicality, but I mean, 100 attack. It could be like a Shadow Ball. Willow. Stab Ghost. And you might say, well, Miss Vangius is rated pretty high. Miss Vangius' advantage, it's got more health. and it's using special moves to attack. This is going to be still using physical. So there'd be a lot more ways to potentially cripple it, but it still have rest, paint split. I like Dusknoir, but could run Choice Band too. Choice Band, because you know what? Choice Band would be potentially really scary at times because it would come in on Snorlax, and maybe you have like you have like Brick Break. Hope you can't have the punches because they're special. Oh yeah, I was gonna say because then you guys. Oh yeah, but you can have Rock Slide. Now look on Rock Slide. Can this learn Rock? Let me just make sure. Oh, it can learn Earthquake. So it would still have they could have Shadow Ball. This could be a sneaky set right here. Max attack. Speed investment. I don't know. So this may be a little sneaky. I want to say this is definitely going to be fringe, though. It's definitely better than a lot of these because it's a spin blocker, right? There's a reason Mischievous and you very rarely will get used. Dusclops will rarely get used as well. Having other spin blockers that aren't Gengar, those have merit as an idea. Now, they are worse than Gengar almost all the time. But it doesn't mean they aren't always. So I feel like this would have a niche. Put it right above these two. I don't know if it's better than these three. So we're getting here, and I'm definitely. I think I'm gonna put Magneton. I think Magneton will get banned. And maybe Frostlass. I can see Frostlass getting banned. I think Roserade wouldn't get banned. I think Roserade would probably be insane. It would be one of the best mons in the tier. But I don't think it'd get banned just because it would be kind of like it's weak to fire. It could stun support though. So even the fires, man, I don't know. And all the spinners are actually. Let me look at Rapid Spinners really quick. With HP Fire, it beats Fortress, beats Starmie. And this is obviously it beats Claydol, Cloyster, Donphan, Armaldo. So it actually beats all. This actually beats all the spinners. It sits on the spinners potentially and just attacks them. So maybe even Roserade, man. Oh my god, Roserade and Frostlass are actually. I didn't think about those implications, man. Man, they would be insane. Oh, I didn't think about because Frostlass needs coverage still to beat some of those, but it still beats them too. It struggles with Giga Drain. He gets health. Roserade gets his health back. So, man, these would be Frostlass and Roserade would be scary. These would be. I feel like one of these would be like a top 6. I feel like Frostlass maybe would be. I don't know if it's better than Skarmory. That's maybe a little much to say. Maybe a more offensively paced team should see this way more often. Same with Roserade. I think maybe Roserade would be maybe more balanced. Because Frostlass would probably be like, oh, I want to save my spikes and not have. I don't want to have a Rapid Spinner, or I don't want to have I don't want to have Gengar. I don't want Skarmory. I want to have them both. God, I love this conversation. Actually, there's so much nuance here. I think with a lot of these mons, and I'm not thinking about a lot, so I'm very glad I'm doing this video because it made me think about, oh my god, the ability to spike and spin block in Gen 3 is. You're still weak to spikes though, so you want rapid spin. So it's not all good, but and then rapid spin. What are you gonna do with rapid spin? Because all the rapid spinners are weak to Roserade potentially. Of course, this is assuming y'all exist in the same tier. I think I remember saying before, and I'm getting really excited about this, that it's only one at a time. So if it's one at a time, then I'm going to say, I'm going to put Roserade. I think Roserade is very close to being banned. I think Roserade would be super close to being banned. If it had Sleep Power in this tier, it would be banned. Like, because people would just be so, and even Leech Seed, man, oh my god. Oh, I think Frostlass would be really good. If both exist at the same time, once again, I'm getting a little too hypothetical on this because I already said my hypothetical range. But if both exist at the same time, Frostlass is probably better because it beats Roserade. But, oh my god, man. Such interesting nuance here. All right. Nose pass. We leave off with last. We were talking about some of the girls. That's Magnetpole, man. The second Magnetpole mon. That's 4 times weak to HP ground. And has 75 special attack. So it doesn't even necessarily win against Scar. This thing is awful. I don't think I gotta say much, honestly, with Probo Pass. This is probably like straight up. He's gonna be maybe. It has 100. Whoa. 100, I didn't realize it was 145 defense. 100. Oh, now I'm rethinking this a little bit. I mean, God, it takes so many hits. It's not. It's too weak to things. And Skarmory, where we want to beat, like, what does it do? It thunderbolts me. Does it have thunderbolt? It does. So it could thunderbolt. Wait, does Nose Paths have thunderbolts in thunder? I think it does. I remember checking. Let's make sure to get thunderbolt, fire punch for fortress, taunt, but it's too slow. Like, let me just see. Can this get to? So max speed, max special attack, plus special attack, plus nature. You could Sorry, I just got distracted. I'm sorry. So actually thinking about taunt. This is just because but then the problem is Skarmory speed creeps. Then maybe this could be plus that, and then it's 196. This would have the implication that Skarmory got less bulk. 178 gets trapped, it gets taunted, it gets slowly chipped down. Skarmory can't do anything. Unless it's HP ground. How much is H? I'm gonna go check. Let me. Oh, I'm still on the count. I never switched back. No, I'm such a. I said I was gonna switch back. Oh my god. Okay, let me. I'm sorry if everyone's gonna watch this video. They're gonna be sitting here like looking at the screen like, oh, this dude keep forgetting. Oh my god. So this right here. This is actually. I'm gonna move this between you. Oh, I have this right here. Oh, I feel like it. Oh, god, I feel like this is like. Just thinking about this, actually, it might be like even right here, honestly. Let me. Oh my god, I am so sorry, guys. I'm not gonna redo the video because I've been tired for an hour and a half. But everyone's gonna be listening to this and gonna be like, dude, there's no visuals. But you know, it's a podcast. You know what? Maybe I should do visual. Maybe I should just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna have a visual for all this stuff because maybe that's just. I guess you know. I realized I should have 2 window captures so I could bring it up when I need to. But okay. Let me bring up damage calculator. So that's what I want to check. Probopass into Skarmory. Normally this is 252. 252. Let me just go without investment. How much is HP ground do? Wow. What about 252? Oh, it's right. I need to make it physical. So that does so much. Oh, this is without investment. 252. Yeah. Oh, oh my god, that is so. I mean, for normal Scar, I guess Magneton also loses that too. Magneton can get roared out though. Probopass can't. If Probopass comes in and it's non-HP ground, the Skarmory just loses. It can't get an extra spike. It can't spam protect because it gets taunted and it gets slowly whittled down. So, in many ways, it's like Porygon 2, except it has less trap targets. And it only traps Fortress because it can never, ever. I mean, actually, you can trap Metagross on Meteor Mash, right? Let me actually. I'm still on this. I keep kidding. Let me just check. Metagross, Choice Band. Earthquake does so much. Look at that. Oh, because you're rock. Right. Say, you can't. I gotta put this down a few pegs, then let me switch back to Pokemon Team Builder. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this Team U and UVL. And maybe I think it would be too situational, but something like this. I think better than the Ambipom. It would have a niche. It beats Scar or beats Fortress. Like brutally. Like no matter the set. Well, I guess let me actually go back to the calc. If this is Skarmory YOLO Skarm, which is 252, and your adamant, I think. HP ground. It's based on physical. I guess you can get a little bit invested. You could try to get a little investment in defense, but then you lose taunt. So you're. Oh my god. So yeah, YOLO Skarmsel beats this, and faster Skarmsel. But I think if Pro Pass existed, it might force some Skarmory speed creep, which can be helpful for Magneton. Right, because if the Pro Pass is 179 or 180 or whatever you want to be, and it taunts Skarmory, Skarmory just dies. Skarmory can't do anything, it's just dead. So in that way, it would impact the metagame because it would probably make Magneton better. It would, because it itself probably wouldn't be used that much because it would counter too easily. But the threat of it existing would maybe potentially increase speed creep. Because being able to just trap and beat standard drill Skarm like that, Magneton does that too, but it can't taunt. Maybe you can get out of there with a spike, or maybe your HP ground YOLO. I don't know. So I will have to apologize once again that the video I went to the wrong thing. I forgot to switch it back, but overall, I think the order we got: Leafeon, you got Mega, Ambipom, Pro Pass, Licky, Tangrowth, Honchkrow, Gallade, Magmorter, Glaceon, Togekiss, Porygon Z, Dusknoir, Gliscor, Electivire, Weavile, Mamoswine, Mismagius, Rhyperior, Frostlass, Roserade, Magnezone. I think that's a pretty fair look at it. Maybe some other people got some thoughts on what would be broken or not broken or etc. Um, yeah, it's a very interesting. I think it's interesting, but maybe I'm wrong about a lot of this stuff. So I would love to hear from others some thoughts, even if it's just like on one BL, like why this one BL would be really good. Because I was doing this more. I wanted to do this, but I think that I could have maybe done a little more research because there were some things I was thinking about once I actually started the videos looking at some on. So yeah, I think overall this is a pretty. There's some of these. I think I could see everything up to Miss May just getting banned though as well, even though I have them fringe because maybe they just be like, especially if they drop now, they'd be like, this is a new thing. Kind of like the idea with Farseus getting banned in Gen 4. Obviously, was really good too, but maybe they'd be good enough, and they'd be like, well, they're new, and we don't want to deal with that. So I don't know. I'll go over some of the movesets. So I don't have moveset here. I was talking about this. I don't remember where I stopped. So let's make sure I just show some of the ideas I had. List them out. So I got something here. So there's a lot of interesting things here. I know this is more of a hypothetical video. Maybe a little interesting because it's not necessarily focusing on OU in itself. Mons actually exists in OU. But I really want to do this. If you guys like this video, I'll do a video on Choice Scarf and Choice Specs sometime in the future. I'm going to do maybe a little more research on that because that's more... I think that's a little easier to... the tangible effects would be more easier to understand. So, or to really feel out. So, thank you everyone for watching, and peace out.